Bushy Maape has officially taken over the reins as Northwest Premier. On his first day, he is having to deal with a blaze at an iconic hotel in the province. The blaze began in the early hours of this morning. The cause of the fire is still not known. Mabato Palms is one of the oldest casino resorts in South Africa, built well over 40 years ago. Our senior reporter Aviwe Mtila is in Mahikeng and joins us now for an update. And what a way for the new Premier Aviwe to come into the job. A fire at Mabato Palms Hotel, but also at Christiana Hospital, also in the northwest. Just tell me about the response from the province's side to this fire, to a piece of infrastructure that is important in the tourism economy of the northwest.
Very important, Batulas. One of the oldest, in fact, on the 30th of September, it was supposed to turn 44 years old. It's been sold out. Initially, it was Mabato San, but now, after being sold twice, it is, of course, Mabato Palm, one of the oldest resorts in South Africa. But in one of the weirdest incidences, an unexplained incident, basically, it went up in flames last night, carrying some dignitaries, or some of them, including Deputy Minister of Agriculture, Aviwe. I just want to show you some of it. We're expecting, in fact, a media briefing that was supposed to be underway at 12 already, but there are a lot of dignitaries here, MECs. I'm told we're just waiting for the Premier to arrive before they all converge and then just give that detailed briefing as to exactly what happened, because it's quite weird, as you put it. It's the first day Bushy Maape, the ANC veteran, essentially, that's been called in to serve as the Premier of the Northwest Province. And already 3 hours away from here, the Christiana Hospital is also up in flames. Those flames really rang through. It's a hexagon-shaped hotel, this. And I can tell you, the top part of it, all of it, was up in flames, completely destroyed. As it stands, we were told earlier on by the Premier, the Mayor, as well as the Deputy Minister of Agriculture, that there aren't any fatalities or injuries or casualties at this stage, which is a miracle on its own. Because if you were to see the video footage of how this fire was basically ravaging through the Mabato Palm, it would be quite shocking to even find out at this stage there aren't any fatalities. So we're expecting that briefing, which we're expecting underway any moment from now, including the Premier, the CEO of the hotel itself, to give more direction as to exactly what caused the fire and what's the next stage. We saw police here, investigators already going in. We were moved from the other side, the main entrance, to this side, just to allow those police to go inside, and we understand the investigations are already away from the South African Police Services side. But we'll hear then from the officials when the briefing starts as to exactly what could have caused this fire.
Yeah, so from one of the aerial angles that you have shown us, Aviwe, it looks apocalyptic, the one side of the hotel. But just give me a sense of the extent of the damage. Is it like that throughout the entirety of the hotel? Is there anything to salvage of the Mabato Palms Hotel?
Well, even in a conversation I had with the Deputy Minister of Agriculture, she said she lost everything in the forms of her belongings that were with her, which would give you an idea. They couldn't save anything. And as I mentioned, it's a hexagon shape, and the flames were really running through the whole hexagon. I'm not sure what's happening in the ground floors, but certainly the upper floors are totally devastated at this stage. I can confirm that all of that hexagon that was in flames has been burnt. What's been salvaged is probably the main entrance side of the hotel, which is still intact, but the majority of it, which comprises of that 80% of the hexagon, from what we saw from the fire and the drone images that we saw ourselves, the roof completely gone. But of course, we are expecting to get those details from the CEO of the hotel, the Premier, as well as some government officials, including the MECs that I've seen here on the ground, and the Mayor. We hear they're waiting for the Premier to arrive. Then we'll get more details as to exactly the extent of the damage here, if it will be able to be repairable, what dent it will cost, and what actually caused the fire itself, because it's bizarre, as I mentioned.
All right, thank you for that. That's eNCA senior journalist there. That is Aviwe Mtila out in Mahikeng. Look out for more of his reporting on that fire. It's an important one because that's a key landmark in the area of Mahikeng, part of the history and legacy that goes back to the days of the homeland that was known as Bophuthatswana. So we'll report more on it throughout the day here on eNCA.